Hello everyone. This is an apple. You can pick one of these up for around 15 cents from the grocery store. You probably knew that. And you probably heard of the phrase, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But 1 billion people around the world can't even afford one apple. They earn less than $1 a day. The UN says that 800 million people around the world are either undernourished or malnourished. And that's projected to go to 1 billion people. Now, as executive director of Action Against Hunger, I think this is ridiculous because we have enough resources to feed everyone, but we just waste it. Now, first I'm going to talk to you about the health concerns of hunger. Next, I'm going to talk to you about how governments use hunger as a tactic to eliminate dissent amongst its people. And finally, I'm going to talk to you about why we have hunger in the world and what we can do about it. So, 1/3 of children's death around the world is due to malnutrition. Now, and Ralphie says in Children, Hunger, and Poverty that poverty is the #1 reason for hunger. But also, hunger is the reason for poverty because when people are hungry, they don't have enough energy to make money, and therefore they stay in poverty and remain hungry in an endless cycle. Now, the UN Food and Agricultural Organization reports that children that are malnourished are more likely to succumb to infections such as measles and malaria because their immune system can't fight off the infections. And 70% of these children live in Asia. And then there are two. When I was researching, I encountered two major diseases caused by malnutrition. The first was marasmus, which means you have inadequate energy intake, and this causes a emaciated appearance, as you can see in these people here. So, and the other one was kwashiorkor, which is inadequate protein intake, and that causes swelling in the body because the body can't retain fluids because it doesn't have enough protein. And both of these diseases have many other health concerns like blindness, and both will lead to death if not treated. Okay, but the health concerns are not the only problem with hunger. Because some governments actually use hunger as a tactic to eliminate dissents. For example, Abdul Aziz, in his article "Syrian Children Dying of Hunger," which he wrote in February 2014, speaks of how the Syrian government uses hunger as a tactic to eliminate dissent. For example, this girl named Israel Al-Mimi, she's a 1-year-old girl, and she's actually dying of hunger because her parents can't feed her because the Syrian government is punishing her neighborhood, and anyone attempting to venture out to get food will be shot. And so this girl she weighs only 4 kilograms, and she's dying from the inside out, as you can see from her picture here. And she's not the only person that's having this problem. Some other person, other father, he had a 2-year-old daughter, had the same problem, and he told the doctor, he's like, okay, I'm gonna take her home to die because I don't have any medicine or food to feed her with. And it's just very sad. That's what countries do. And it's not just in Syria. For example, in the UAE, they have so much money from oil, but they don't distribute it evenly. You see these people driving with the Lamborghinis, but that's only the rich people. There's also so many hungry people that don't get any of those resources, and it's a shame. So why do we have hunger in the world? The UN wrote an article on in 2010 called "Food Insecurity in the World," and it says that 1.3 billion tons of food are wasted each year. And the sad thing is we produce enough food for everyone. We produce around 2,700 calories, which should theoretically feed a population of 9 billion. Currently we have 7 billion. So what's going on here? The problem is that the rich countries they hoard the food because they can afford to. Farmers in the poor countries, they export to wealthier nations because of their of the exchange rate is higher for those countries, but but they don't have enough food for their own people, because it's more profitable to export to those countries, and unfortunately, those countries just hoard the food and they waste it. They waste like trillions of tons of food each year, and we can do what we should do as at the national level is to stop the hoarding, and to teach the farmers a better irrigation technique so they can produce enough food for their own people. So in conclusion, I know that food, like hunger, is not something that people really think of as a problem in this country because we have so much. But we have so much food to satisfy everyone, and even some people probably take too much advantage of all the food. But it is a growing concern in many places in the world, including here. You just might not see it as rampant. But there's many things you can do to stop it, such as donating food you don't need to shelters. You can volunteer at like Interfaith, or you can just buy less food. Maybe that could contribute to slowing down this problem. Now, if you want to further your involvement in this cause, you can call 877-77-1420, which is Action Against Hunger, where we create solutions to this growing hunger problem, and we try to stop hunger across the world. So thank you.